Now, it's been a long time since I last sat down to record a vlog. That was the 19th of September 2019. And not only had it been a long time since I'd sat down to record a vlog, it was to be even longer, as I'd never got past the stage of the monologue to camera. So what was I saying? Well, basically I was talking about how my photography had taken a different direction in the months since my last update. How I was slowly but surely returning to film as my main photographic medium, and how much fun I was having. I didn't realise it at the time, of course, but within 6 months, fate was to intervene with a pandemic, and there would also be an even bigger change in my photographic direction. None of these changes, though, was as influential in my new direction as one that came late in the second half of 2020, when I bought my first swing lens panoramic camera. What started as a whim when I bought a used Horizon Compact from a private UK seller quickly became a passion as my experience with the camera deepened and my understanding and competency with the format grew. 12 months on, I have people telling me that my work influenced them in their purchase of a swing lens panoramic camera, which, as you can appreciate, is very flattering. I thought, therefore, that I would be presumptuous enough today to share some of what I have learned. The first thing I've learned is the importance of loading the film correctly. Basically, when loading the camera, if there is something the film can slip under, then you should slip it under. Now, start with a good length of film in your hand, and before inserting the film cassette into the camera, slip the film leader under the first roller. I'm using an S3 Pro, but the principles are the same across the range. Then, seat the cartridge before threading the leader under the next set of rollers. This is important to ensure the film remains taut, otherwise you can get out of focus edges where the film isn't flat. Now, I usually push in the film rewind button to allow the mechanism to rotate freely. Now, the trickiest part for my old fingers comes next. Thread the leader behind the take-up spool and insert it into the slot before gently winding the film on. Not all the way, just enough to ensure it is caught on the sprockets properly. I then gently turn the rewind crank as if rewinding the film. This tightens everything and also reassures you that the film is loaded properly. Then complete the wind on, observing that the rewind crank also turns. Close the back, release the shutter, and one more wind on, you're ready to go. Well, I hope you found that interesting and useful. One last thought on loading film. It really is vital that you get everything nice and tight. If there's any slack on the take-up spool, then as you wind on or as you rewind, there's additional stress put on the film, and the only time I've ever had a film break was on the one occasion when I didn't make sure that everything was tight. So that's just something else to look out for. Bear in mind that with a 36 exposure film you'll get about 21 frames, about 14 with a 24 exposure film. Don't be tempted to squeeze an extra one out. Therein lies the opportunity to snap the film, especially some of the thinner bases. Just a thought on metering. With my original compact, there was no need to meter. The only choice you had was what speed film you put in the camera, and with a fixed aperture and a fixed shutter speed, there was nothing else to do. And I found that such a liberating experience. I really did. All I had to think about was compositions and looking, so I found that really fun. When I got the S3 Pro with its variable shutter speeds and its variable apertures, I thought I'd better do it properly, and I took my spot meter out the first time, and that was the worst thing I could have done. It sucked the joy out of it for me. So now my approach is quite simple. I have an app on my phone. I take a meter reading as I leave the house. I set that on the camera and that stays. Unless the light changes dramatically, I don't take another meter reading whilst I'm out. I do, however, use a bit of judgment. So if I can see there's a lot of shadow in the scene and I want a bit more detail being captured, I'll open up 1-2 stops from the original metered version. But apart from that, I can just keep the spontaneity alive. So if you've got this far, thank you very much, and I hope you found something useful and something within this that you can take away to use in your own photography. Until the next time, take care. Bye now.